So, as you can see, we are in a different part of my house today. We are not in my office. We are in my kitchen, and that's because I'm hungry and I am about to make one of my favorite quick meals, and I realized that it actually contains some of the food groups, probably the most commonly under-eaten food groups that I see when I work with my one-on-one clients. So if you're not familiar with who I am, hi there. I'm Kendra Tolbert, and I'm a registered dietitian and yoga teacher, and I specialize in women's health and fertility. And so besides making videos here on YouTube, I also work with clients one-on-one. And a part of working with those clients one-on-one includes me assessing their nutrition habits. And so I do that through a food journal where they track how they eat for a day to maybe 3 days, and also through an intake form where I'm actually seeing how closely their current eating pattern is to 3 particular eating patterns that have been found to be associated with a lower rate of infertility, a lower risk of ovulatory infertility, a increased chance of having a pregnancy and a live birth if someone is undergoing IVF, and an eating pattern that is associated with a shorter time to conception. So I have these 3 eating patterns mashed together in my head and also on a form, and I'm trying to see where we can add things in to move them closer to those eating patterns. And so there are 3 food groups, food types, I don't know exactly what you want to call them. Doesn't really matter what you call them. The point is they're important to eat, that I often see people are under eating. And those things are seafood, beans, peas, lentils, also known as legumes, and herbs and spices. So I have a meal that combines all 3 of those. It's super easy to put together. I thoroughly enjoy it. And my hope is that by seeing this, you either try it or you're just inspired to make sure that you are eating these particular food groups, and that you know that it can be easy and it can be simple. And in my case, it actually includes foods that I grew up eating. So it's not a whole new way of eating, which I think sometimes people may think they need a whole new diet plan or menu in order to support their fertility. A lot of the foods that we grew up eating are supportive of our fertility. So I'm going to show you what I made, what I like to make. I'm going to make it. Let's get into it. So the base of this dish is sardines. So remember how I said that seafood is one of the food groups that I often see people under eating? Well, sometimes it's because they don't really like seafood, in which case, fine. Other times it's because seafood may be expensive, or it may be something that they don't have the time to cook. But guess what? Canned fish, inexpensive, and it doesn't take any time to prepare. At least the way I'm going to be making it. So I'm going to open this can. It's about to get messy. Let's hope not, because sardine juice doesn't exactly smell good. All right, let's pop in the top. Sometimes I really struggle with this. Work with me. Yay! So I am going to take, I don't know if I'm going to use, probably just 2. So whole 1 sardine. Second sardine. I like to get them with the skin and the bones. You know, you get calcium, you get vitamin D, all that jazz. At least some additional bits because you got the bone and the skin intact. But maybe you don't like the idea of skin and bones, in which case, choose something else. It's okay. I think we all need to accept that there's no one perfect way to eat, and that our bodies can thrive on a variety of ways of eating, and that you don't have to strive for perfection. So anyhow, mashing this. P.S. Perfection doesn't exist, so definitely let go of that idea. All right, so mashed it, and now I'm going to add herbs, spices. This is a mixture of, let's see, it's garlic powder, onion powder, cayenne, is it? No, chili, and salt and black pepper. So that's what I like to use. You can use whatever you like. I have no idea how much that is because most of my cooking is not done with recipes. I just kind of go with what I think sounds good, and it works out. And if it doesn't work out, you change it up. You add some more salt. You add some more sugar. You warm it up. Like, it's okay if it doesn't turn out perfectly the first go round. You can always add something to make it better. Now we're going to add even more herbs, and we're going to add green herbs. We're always trying to think of ways to add more green to our food. So this is parsley and dill. We're gonna stir that together. I'm just now realizing that my camera's not focusing. Focus, my friend. Focus. Let's see, is it gonna focus? There we go. This really was impromptu, so. All right, so now that that's all mixed together, I probably could have added an additional sardine now that I'm looking at it. All right, so gonna add one more sardine to it. See what I mean? You just kind of go with the flow. Ooh, now my hand is messy, that's fine. Okay, perfect. All right, now that that's all mixed together, I'm gonna go ahead, grab my toast. And then I'm just gonna spoon this, fork this, I don't know, put this onto my toast. That's fine if it falls off. I have a fork. I can eat it later, that's okay. Are you noticing that like I'm really obsessed with this idea of letting go, of things needing to be neat and perfect? I think it shows up for so many people in their fertility journey, and it takes away a lot of the joy and creativity and spontaneity and fun that I think are so important for the journey. You don't have to do it all perfectly. You literally cannot do it all perfectly. You can just do your best and believe that that's enough. Okay, cool. So that's done. Now, so we have the herbs and spices. We have the sardines for the seafood category. And I had some chickpeas warming up on my stove while I did all of this. Canned chickpeas, because again, this is supposed to be quick, this is supposed to be easy. So now I'm just gonna add some chickpeas to my plate so that we are hitting that beans, peas, lentils group that I said is often missing. And there you go. Super quick lunch, super quick dinner. Thank you so much for keeping me company as I prepared my lunch. I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy it now. I do hope that this video inspired you to focus on what you can add in to support your fertility rather than focusing on the foods that you have been taught to fear. Also remember, a lot of that information about foods to avoid or fear, that information is often incorrect. I could tell you tons of stories about that, and I think I will. Anyhow, I hope to see you in my next video. Until then, be well, and bye for now.